Oh, you all right, dude?
No, man. I feel like I'm drowning.
Oh, some water go down the wrong pipe?
What? No, I'm just having trouble keeping up with everything.
Oh, dude, I'm about to solve all your problems.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna save your life.
Something tells me you aren't.
Check it out.
All that stuff that you gotta do.
Yeah?
It needs a home. It needs a residence, so you can look in and you can see all of the stuff that you gotta do and all of the things that you completed. You just need to make a to-do list. It's so easy. All you gotta do is, yeah?
Please shut up.
See? See? Oh, shit. Do you have any whiteout? What an ass.
Assume we've heard that one before. Assume we've tried it. And it works for you, so it should work for us, right? Well, in theory, you'd be right. I mean, we've got all this crap floating around in our heads, getting it out on a neat little piece of paper, knowing exactly what we need to do next, checking things off as we complete them to release a little bit of dopamine. It all sounds like a perfectly reasonable solution to a monumental challenge that plagues the brain cells of every ADHDer. But alas, it doesn't work. Or better stated, it works until it doesn't, which is sometimes 3 days later. Sometimes it's 3 minutes later when we put our to-do list down and accidentally cover it with a notebook, causing it to simply cease to exist. Sometimes it works for 3 weeks, if we're lucky, but then inevitably. So why is that? How can something so rational be so elusive to the chaotic mind of an ADHDer? Well, today we're going to explore exactly what those reasons are. Then with that in mind, we're going to take a look at what actually works. The first problem with to-do lists is that they aren't flexible. How many times have you made a note on a piece of paper, then wished you could pick that piece up and drag it somewhere else on the same piece of paper? I literally chop out sections of my notes and tape them into different sections. And you know what? That's a pain in the ass.
Just use an eraser, Eric.
We already wrote it down once. And here's a little ADHD logic for you. Even if it technically takes longer to chop sections of my notes out and tape them to different areas than it does to rewrite my notes, rewriting my notes takes more ADHD minutes. You get me? Why does this matter? Well, on a to-do list, you're gonna wanna move things around a lot because for it to be effective, everything needs to be listed by priority. So you're not trying to determine the best next thing to do each time you look at a full list of items after you complete the previous one. But you can't predict everything. New things are going to come up. And if you have ADHD, you can't predict anything. Not really, but we're definitely not very good at the whole looking into the future thing. Well, Eric, that sounds like a limitation of writing things down on paper, wouldn't you say? There are to-do list apps and Kanban tools that allow you to drag and drop till your heart's content. Problem solved. Well, no, not really, actually. The problem with those tools is that you're still put into a box. Say you want to take some notes, draw a little diagram, or illustrate some dependencies between a few tasks. With pen and paper, you're free to mark up your list however you desire, but with an app, you're forced to conform with whatever structure the app has dictated. I don't even like using regular line paper. I like using grid paper because it allows me to reflect what's in my brain a little bit better. You ever wonder why people with ADHD are so drawn to sticky notes? You can put them anywhere. Imagine you're driving a train and someone parked their car in the middle of the train tracks. You can't just drive the train off the tracks and go around it, right? So to recap, a physical to-do list allows you to conform to your natural flow, but doesn't allow you to rearrange things, whereas a digital to-do list allows you to rearrange things, but does not conform to your natural flow. The other problem with to-do lists, physical or digital, is that they exist as standalone tools, which means you're far more likely to stop using them. And that's thanks to another executive functioning related challenge that people with ADHD deal with. Some people call this an object permanence issue. Others get mad when you call it that.
That's a developmental milestone for infants. Are you a baby?
Truth be told,
Are you a giant man baby?
Truth be told, it's definitely not the right term for it. But you know what? It gets the idea across. I lost my brain. Found it. The real factor is more to do with your working memory, which is like your holding pen in your brain that's made to store little bits of disposable information that don't quite make it to your short-term or your long-term memory. Your working memory is like having a hole in the pocket of your pants. You throw your keys in there so you don't forget them, but your pocket has a hole in it. So what happens when your to-do list is out of sight? Falls right out of your pocket. The solution to addressing this addresses the same problem that digital to-do lists have, and that's creating a central hub that's flexible enough to incorporate other tasks that are related to your to-do lists beyond just the title
of those tasks. Ideally, all those other tools that you need to use, like a dedicated calendar, for example, should be integrated into your to-do list. And then this becomes the starting point because everything else stems from it. And with it being your starting point, you're always going to refer back to it, and this isn't going to get lost. And finally, it needs to be simple, because as soon as you encounter roadblocks like those associated with learning curves on complicated platforms, you're far more likely to just stop the train on the tracks. I'm out of breath. So where does that leave us, good sir? Well, I've been looking for a solution for a while, and I've tried all of the different popular apps, like ones that rhyme with lotion and mellow and bladuous. And they all just miss the mark for any of those reasons. But there is one app that I discovered recently that I think nails it, and that's xTiles. And they also happen to be sponsoring this video. So thank you very much to the X-Men. That was really stupid. I'm so sorry. So here's what's great about it. It has everything you need to become your central hub. And guess what? You can plot boxes on a dot grid. It's so beautiful. You're not forced into that damn linear thinking. But if you do want to see a nice clean list of your tasks, boop. And it syncs up with your phone. You can throw images on it, pictures of your cats, headshots to remind you of how handsome you are, videos, audio files.
You are a tiger.
Stop it. Inspiring quotes. You can create new tabs. Here's how I like to organize it. I've got my dashboard, my home base. Then I've got my brain dump where I can just get all the stuff out of my head. Then I've got a section where I can expand on things. That stuff I carry over to my action items when they become actionable, and over to my dashboard when they become immediate. I also have different tabs for specific areas I want to stay organized with, like research, my social media stuff, finances, etc. I thought that word was pronounced etc. for the longest time, like espresso instead of espresso. You can use templates. To be honest, I'm not a template guy, but you have the option. Also worth mentioning, their help center is pretty great. It's all inline and they show you a little video of the thing you're trying to do, so you don't have to read step by step. And as a guy who used to be involved with UI and UX at previous jobs and has worked on knowledge bases, this is super clean. The free version of the app is pretty robust. The biggest limiter in my eyes is that you only get access to 5 pages per project, which might be totally fine for you. Definitely enough to get started. Then if you want to upgrade, you get unlimited pages, calendar integration, some other goodies that all start at $5 a month. If you're like me, you don't like paying for subscriptions either, but it's an investment. It's an investment. If you quantify the value of being able to organize the chaos in your brain, is that worth more to you than $5 a month? For me, it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to run out of batteries on my microphone, so I'm gonna stop the video right here, because if I do run out of batteries and have to charge it, the chances of me coming back to this video are, well, it'll happen, it just might not happen immediately, so you get it. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you wanna see more ADHD related content, comment if you have any thoughts or ideas or opinions on the whole organizing your to-do list, why to-do lists haven't worked for you, what has worked for you, and if you've used this product before, I'd love to hear your experience with it. If you haven't, you can find a link down in the description to xTiles. Oh my gosh, crushing it. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.